Our next segment, which was about Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Right.
And they were changing. There's been a whole lot of talk going
Oh,
on
I'll stop with
within the
Ghost.
last couple of days, but they changed the box art for Ghost of Tsushima, the director's cut, which will be out soon.
Right.
But it no longer says only on PlayStation, right?
Right.
So
They removed the no only on PlayStation tag
right, that's normally on it. So I mean,
from their box.
so you know, Nixus or what's the thing
Nixus.
called? Nixus.
Yeah.
And you know, and this happening, you know, with the box art changing and whatnot, you know, if this company is solely about PC porting, like, I mean, we already knew that a lot of the PlayStation games, their first party titles, were gonna eventually make it to PC, right? Just a matter of years, you know, like once they're no longer selling, just move it to PC and just
Right.
sell again. You know what I mean? So it seems like it's kind of like inkling that soon the Ghost of Tsushima will be available on the PC.
Yeah, I think that implies that.
Mm-hmm.
It has to, right? I mean, but the thing is, like, I think they're making money hand over fist
Mm-hmm.
on PC, on these PC ports, man. Because they are selling full price. I bet you even Days Gone is making tons of money.
Yeah.
But I think it's a fine line. I think what makes these games so alluring is that because you couldn't play them anywhere but PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like, you know,
You're finally getting the chance.
yeah, they're alluring. It's like eating the forbidden fruit, right? It's like no one ever had a chance, and now, whoa, all of a sudden that game's available to all, and now it is.
Yeah.
But if this becomes a normal thing, does that allure rank go away? Do people end up just saying, you know what, I'm not going to buy the PlayStation version because I know for certain it's going to start coming out on PC, and I'll just wait for that version?
So I
Does
think
their allure get hurt?
I feel like the PC players are always going to be the PC players, right? They've made peace with whatever games are available for the PC are available. They could care less what comes out for the Xbox or the PlayStation. Until it's on the PC, that's all that it matters, because they're not going to buy a console. They don't want to. And then you have the people who just have a PlayStation 5. It's very rarely, there's not too many people, I would have to assume, that have a PlayStation 5 and a PC and will play the games on either or. It's normally like, you know, you buy games for your PlayStation 5 or your PlayStation 4 to play on your PlayStation 4, and you would never go and buy them
Mark
on your
does.
PC. Does he buy PlayStation games for his PC?
Well, they don't exist for his PC. I mean, what I'm saying is they never existed for his PC, so he has to buy them for his PlayStation.
Right.
But he prefers PC. Like he's told us that many times. He prefers to play his games on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me wonders, like, let's say all these games had come out. Let's say Last of Us had come out on PC simultaneously as PS5, like Xbox does it.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Ghost of Tsushima or Days Gone or any of these exclusives, Horizon. Let's say they all came out, you know, date and date on PC as PS5. With someone like Mark, he would probably get it on PC, I think, if he could choose. But I think he gets his PlayStation because there's lots of great exclusives that he cannot play unless he owns that PlayStation. And part of me wonders is, do you lose out on those types of people who prefer PC for all their gaming, buying not only your console but your game, or just waiting for the PC port?
I feel like if you have the alternatives, right, and you wanted to play the game, you would play the one that is available now. So, like, for instance, let's just say Biomutant, right? There's an Xbox Series X version, but there's not a PS5 version of Biomutant. There's just a PS4 version. So if I'm playing a new console or I want to play my new consoles, I'm just going to buy the Series X version. If I have a Series X and a PlayStation 5, I'm going to just buy the Series X version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to buy Biomutant for the PS5,
Didn't
but
run
they
as
don't
good.
got that version.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to pay the full price for the lesser looking version of it, you know, on the PS4. Why not just get that 4K 60 on the Xbox and call it a day. I don't have to wait
Right.
2 or 3 years.
So what are you talking
for
about?
that.
You mean people buying on their PC and get 4K right off the bat?
Well, I'm just saying, like, like you could buy them on either or, but it's like, okay, if I've got the game comes out on the PlayStation, but if I wait 2 years, I could get it on the PC.
Right.
Do you want to wait 2 years? You know what I mean? Like, the game was available on the Xbox and the PlayStation.
I think
but it wasn't available on the PS5.
I think if you're guaranteed. See, I think I would. Like, let's say, like, I'll use this example. Let's say, like, Tomb Raider comes out and it's timed exclusive on the Xbox, which is just kind of like what I did. I owned an Xbox, but I never bought it, and I just waited because I knew I had learned it was a timed exclusive, and I prefer to play my games on my PlayStation for various reasons. For one, I prefer the controller. For two, that's where I was building my trophy library, so I wanted to keep everything on one system, and so it was worth me even waiting the 2 years. It was like 2 years before it came out on PlayStation, but it did, and I ended up getting it on PlayStation, and I played it. If you really prefer like that platform, I don't think you care waiting 2 years to play God of War. I really don't think you care. For many people, I'm only speaking for, I don't want to speak for everybody, but just from my experience, I think you don't mind waiting.
Yeah,
I think
it's
a bunch of Xbox people are like, I don't mind waiting to play it on Xbox. Like, let's say God of War was going to come out multi-plat, but it was on PlayStation first. I don't think an Xbox guy is going to go buy a PlayStation just to play it on right now. He'll wait 2 years as long as he knows for certain. I think that's the difference. I think when they first announced like these PC games coming over, like with Horizon was the first one, I don't think any of us thought it was like, okay, now we know from now on they're all timed exclusives. I think that we saw that and like, oh, okay, Sony's just choosing to do this with that one. Or they might do it with this one. But when you see this Nick Studio purchase, it makes you think from now on, every game is timed exclusive.
Well, I mean, it's like, okay, when they did it for Horizon, it's like, okay. And then they do it for Days Gone, and it's like, oh, okay. And then it's a possibility that they're doing it for Uncharted. It's like, okay, this seems to be like, the thing. It's just a matter of maybe like when. Right. Like
exactly.
I get that they're exclusives now, but how long will they be exclusive?
Right. And I'm thinking that's what I'm trying to say is like, I think when they first started doing it, none of us therefore assumed, every game will now be that way. I just think it was just something Sony was doing. I don't think any of us thought that it was going to be a standard practice. And so I think someone's incentivized to buy a PlayStation still because they think, well, there's a chance I may not ever be able to play God of War except for on PlayStation. There's still that chance. I don't think any of us assumed that when they did Horizon on PC, I can now therefore assume with 100% assurity that I will be able to play the next God of War on PC. I think we all still thought, well, we might or we might not. It just depends on if Sony chooses to port that one.
It's a good possibility.
Right. We just assume Sony might or they might not. They're just going to choose which ones I was always under that impression that Sony is just going to choose which ones they want to port and which ones they don't want to port. But with a purchase like this, it makes it seem like there's no choice now. Sony's not just choosing which ones they think will do good and they're going to port those. They'll just do everything. I never thought it was going to be that way, but now it's feeling like it might. We still don't have word that it will because Microsoft tells us it is. Microsoft tells us that's our business model. Every game launches date and date on Xbox consoles and PC. That isn't Sony's MO yet. They haven't come out and like said that with their mouth. We're just kind of all now assuming that. But that's feeling like a real possibility now.
Yeah. So, as far as like the Ghost of Tsushima stuff is concerned, with getting the director's cut releasing, I think in August.
I didn't know the date. Is that the date? It might have been the date.
I think it was.
Ghost of Tsushima director's cut is the director's cut the new content, or is the director's cut the added features like 4K
August
ray
20th.
tracing?
August 20th is when it's supposed to come.
August 20th.
So the director's cut is like it's coming out for PS4 and PS5, but it's supposed to be like, I guess the PS5 version of it. And it'll have like all of the extra, specs.
Right, I know it has 4K ray tracing. I don't know if it has ray tracing, but I know it had native 4K. I think you're getting the 60 frames per second boost. You're getting the controller haptic feedbacks,
Right.
and adaptive triggers. All those things you're getting with this director's cut, but you have to pay $30 to get it. So it's $30. If you own it on PS4 like you and I do, then you have to pay $30
to get the director's cut.
To get all the director's cut features. So that means all the new PlayStation 5 bells and whistles, right? The higher frame rates, the haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, all that stuff, and the new island and the new storylines.
Well, the director's cut, it looks like it's going to have the new island on it.
Yes. But what I'm saying is if you want to upgrade to the director's cut, it's $30. If you want just the new island, just the new content, it's $20.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want just the new PlayStation 5 features, it's $10.
Oh, okay.
Or you get them both for $30. Isn't that a lot? There's lots of outcry over this because right now Ghost of Tsushima is $70 right now.
It's still
non-director's cut, right? The Ghost of Tsushima is $70 non-director's cut.
How has it not gone down in price as old as it is?
And the director's cut is going to be $70. So people are like, why? That means those are like you and I who bought the original.
Ghost of Tsushima is showing it as $39 at GameStop.
No, I'm not talking about GameStop. I'm talking about on PSN. It's on sale. It's on sale at GameStop.
Let me see. I'm looking at GameStop right now. Hold on. Yeah. I'm assuming it's a sale because it's slashed, but it's normally at 60. It's for 40 right now on GameStop. So I'm not sure if that's a deal or whatever.
Yeah, but if you go to the PlayStation Store, which I'm trying to load it right now.
Well, we already know PSN Store is no fair.
Right. So I'm saying, but that's what Sony. But think about it, dude. They just announced a new one, and they're still charging
60.
you the same price as the old one, as the new one coming out. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you bought it today, you'd be spending $60, or if you waited till August, you spend $60 as well and get all the bonus content.
Okay.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that kind of sucks for everybody who's just recently purchased it.
Right.
Like before that announcement.
That's
it's
what
like,
the uproar is about. It's one thing if the game was $40 right now, and then it cost you $20 to update to the new one. You're like, okay, now it's a wash.
Right.
Both people paid $60, but I just got done paying $60, and now I got to pay another $20, and dude is just gonna pay $60.
Yeah.
I paid $80 for the same as that game. Like, it's a kind of a debacle, a little bit of a debacle, and then there's another debacle too with paying $10 for our next gen upgrade. Because that's what it costs. If we want the PS5 version of Ghost of Tsushima, we have to pay $10. You and I do. If we just want the next gen stuff, rather than like,
which is the haptic feedback on the controllers,
right, and the updated
stuff,
resolutions and stuff,
right?
Where Microsoft is just giving all their ray tracing. They don't have haptic feedback and stuff, but you know all the bells and whistles.
Well, I mean,
if your Xbox can do it, they give it.
Yeah, you don't even have to look at that. You can look at like some of the other games that have come out that just automatically give you the upgrade. Like if there's the PS5 version, you just get the upgrade. You just download it and you got it.
But I'm talking about the first party games.
Yeah,
like Sony's slow rolling all the updates for the first party games.
Right.
Yeah, if I buy a Ubi game, I get both versions for free. But I'm talking about if I buy Last of Us 2, right? They took forever to release a 60 frames update.
Right.
They still haven't done it for Ghost, and now we know why, because they're releasing the director's cut. But it's like they're slow rolling their first party games, where Microsoft, Halo instantly was X. Ori instantly was X. Everything that they owned was their first party. Yeah. They had it already updated for the X.
Right.
Where Sony's like they're slow rolling it. And they were kind of giving them out for free slowly but surely. But this one they're not. They're charging you and I $10 for that. I'm like, gosh, that's so frustrating. Because if we want to play on our PS5, then we have to pay $30.
Well,
because we have to buy our content and our upgrade
right
to utilize our new console.
Yeah, I mean, you'd definitely have to pay for that, in order to get that. But the director's cut, that's on there. That's the one that's on here for $20 on the PlayStation Store. That's just for the upgrade.
That's just the upgrade. That's just the
that
content.
that doesn't include the new island.
That's just the content.
No, it does include the new island.
Yes, that's the
Icky Island
content.
expansion.
That's the new DLC content.
Uh-huh.
So think of it like a DLC content, right?
Yeah.
That's $20. And then it's $10 to upgrade from the PS4 version to the PS5 version of the game.
Because this
the
shit
standard
just says
game.
PS4 Pro Enhanced.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly, dude.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's $20 to get the Icky.
Yeah,
the
Icky Island.
Ikishima Island or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I understand DLCs cost a bit, but the fact that you got to pay for this $20 plus you got to pay a $10 just to be able to see it on the PS5 seems like a rip. Seems like that should have just been given to you for free.
Just $20. Charge me $20 and make me get all the PS5 features. Yeah. I just got done buying the PS5. Like what? That's what's so
weird. What more
weird.
are you asking for me?
Yeah, I spent money.
What more do you want from me?
Exactly. Like the guy who's on PS4, he never spent the money to get the PS5. I feel like that's my entry fee. That's my entry fee to the 4K. That's my entry fee to 60. Is I spent money where the dude who has a PS4 didn't.
Right.
Why? I also had to pay now an additional fee for
just
that.
to see it?
Just to see my system run the way I bought it to run?
Yeah,
that's so weird.
This should have been able to give you both. Like it should have had PS4/PS5 on here. And that's,
exactly.
Okay. So I see why people would be griping over that. That's definitely one of those issues that I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like it's not going to matter because there's not enough of us to just unite and be like, well, fuck this game. Like, I'm not going to buy I'm not going to pre-order it. I'm not going to buy the upgraded version of it. Like, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
I agree. Part of me's like that.
I'll let it sit and let it and see
part of me's
if
like
they'll
that,
go ahead
bro.
and attach it
like,
on there.
Part of me's like that. Where I'm going to sit and wait. That's how I feel. Will I? Because the show, maybe not. But I'm unique. I'm talking about if I was a normal gamer.
It's just an expansion.
I'm just saying it's like why are they doing this? And it's normal standard practice when you relaunch like the new game coming out, you decrease the price of the old one.
Right.
Like even with Apple, when they launched the new iPhone, the other one, the previous
starts to go down.
Yeah, immediately, right? Because they know, why am I going to spend the same amount of money on the older one? I can just get the new one for the same price.
Right.
Sony doesn't seem to be doing that, and so folks buying the game right now are being ripped. It's like so weird. What's wrong? Okay, what's wrong with charging $40 right now for Ghost, and people can enjoy it, waiting for the DLC to come out? And when the DLC comes out, you get $20 from them. You're still getting your $60 from them in total. Like, I don't understand like what the rub is here for them. Why are they not doing that? Because don't you think they would see a boost in sales? Like, let's say they just dropped Ghost to $40 right now. You see a boost in sales, and now you're going to see a boost in expansion sales because people will buy the $20 expansion on top of the new purchase.
Yeah, if they're purchasing it online. Yeah.
Well, right now, no one's going to buy nothing, right? And you might get sales. Now you're just souring people's taste, right? And you might get some expansion sales when it comes out. I don't know. I just don't know what the rub is. It's just a little strange to me, this Ghost stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But currently, right now, if you were interested in getting Ghost of Tsushima, you can go on to GameStop. It's selling for $40 right now. You could probably order it online or something.
And then
that
pay
would give you
$20,
$40, and then you can buy the director's cut expansion version of it for the $20 more. If you're feeling fancy, footloose and fancy free, you get the $10 to get you the PS5 version, and you've spent $70 in total on the game.
Which is what they're shooting for. That $70 price tag.
Yeah. But